This is the face of someone who really made a big mistake. And I know, wonderful way to start a video, but here we are with this Munkidori and Emboar team. Oh, I really hope this actually works. But anyways, what is going on YouTube? Espresso Shucko here, and today we are hitting the Regulation F ranked ladder with Emboar and Munkidori. Before we get into the battles here, I feel like I should probably explain a little bit of what is going on here with the team. So Munkidori here has its signature ability of Toxic Chain that is shared between itself, Okidogi, and Pheasantipity. Toxic Chain has very decent odds of causing toxic poisoning to spread to the target when it gets hit by any of Munkidori's moves, which can be great because Munkidori can provide a little bit of support with Fake Out. It has Sludge Wave to just nuke the entire field because this thing has a really high special attack stat on top of that, and Terra Poison to further synergize with these Sludge Waves, so that could be major damage. And Sludge Wave and Toxic Chain both have really good odds of causing poisoning to begin with. Finally, we have Psyshock on Munkidori here to hit some more, especially defensive walls on the physical side, and then that way too we might be able to capitalize on some Pokemon not necessarily having the most rounded defenses out there. So we have that. We have Roaring Moon here to provide Tailwind support while also being able to go Terra Flying and Acrobatics. It's been a long time since I've used Roaring Moon, and I am very happy to be using it again. We have Knockoff here for some Dark type stab to also remove items as well, which is going to be phenomenal. So once that booster energy goes off, we're going to have an extremely fast, hard-hitting sweeper that can also set Tailwind. We have Rillaboom here with some more Fake Out support to join Munkidori. We have high horsepower to hit electric types and poison types as well as rock types. Anything that might be able to try to resist Munkidori, Rillaboom can hit with that high horsepower. We have Knockoff to further remove some items as well. Roaring Moon's not going to be the only one having that fun. And then finally we have Grassy Glide to just pick off some weakened Pokemon with the priority. Now let's talk about the elephant, or rather the boar in the room, with Emboar. Emboar has the Reckless ability. Reckless increases your recoil moves by 20%, which means we're technically going to be doing a little bit more recoil to ourselves, but Emboar here is going to pack an insane amount of firepower thanks to Flare Blitz getting that Reckless boost. So that's an extra 24 points factoring in stab, and if we really wanted to delete something, we can just go Terra Fire with Emboar and just nail them with a Flare Blitz. We have Wild Charge to hit water types as well as flying types, because while Head Smash can also hit flying types, it might miss, but Head Smash is a phenomenally destructive move here with base 150 power, so that is something that we do have that is relatively tempting. So Emboar here is not going to stay on the field for a long time, but it's going to be here for a short fun time because it's going to do so much damage to itself in recoil. We have Tornadus here as another Tailwind option. We can go for the Icy Wind if Tornadus doesn't get knocked out on the turn that it sets Tailwind to further slow down our opponents. We can go for Air Slash, and if we lead Tornadus and Roaring Moon, well, that gives us an opening to use Tailwind with either one of them and then go for either damage with Roaring Moon or Icy Wind with Torn. Finally, we have Primarina. We have Hyper Voice and Throat Spray to give Primarina a special attack boost, and on top of that, we also have Calm Mind to further boost up our special attack and special defense stats, which means once Primarina gets set up, that Moonblast is going to start picking off things left, right, and center. That's the team in a nutshell. Let's jump on in to some battles. All right, how much monkey business can we get up to here? So our opponent here has Primarina, Landorus, Glimmora, Cresselia, Urshifu, and Incineroar. So the Cresselia is bulky, and I wouldn't mind getting some poison damage off into this thing. Landorus is a little bit concerning for Munkidori, but we got Roaring Moon. We also have Emboar. Emboar doesn't like the Landorus, but Emboar does like being able to just absolutely hit things, so maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't. That said, I think maybe we will lead we'll lead Roaring Moon. Tornadus might not be a bad lead as well, because then my opponent has to decide if they want to Fake Out either one of my Tailwind setters. But if they bring Cresselia, well, then that means they could always go for Trick Room, so that is something I do have to be weary of. My own Primarina doesn't look bad. We could go Primarina, and we can go for a Calm Mind and try to get that set up. And then if they don't have Cresselia on the field, great. And plus, we could always go for the Hyper Voice, too. So we could do that. We'll bring Munkidori. And I think our last one is going to be the... I think it's going to be Rillaboom. Grassy Glide is going to be really nice for picking off a weakened Landorus. And having Munkidori in the back means if they lead Glimmora and they get Toxic Spikes up on the field, we can always sub it in and just nullify the spikes, especially once Glimmora is gone. So that's a good thing to have in our back pocket. So how is the opponent going to lead? It's Cresselia and Incineroar, so there's the Fake Out pressure there to get up the Trick Room. Which means I can probably get a Calm Mind off safely with Primarina. So I really do think they go for the Fake Out into my Roaring Moon here, which is not the end of the world for me. I don't mind having my Dragon type stab right here, and going for the Calm Mind is going to be nice for Primarina because we'll get that special defense boost. If they want to just part... Oh! Okay. I will gladly take that because now Cresselia doesn't have an item. And it was safety goggles, but that's fine. Trick Room goes up. Roaring Moon is going to be a little bit threatened if this Cresselia does have a fairy type attack, but it's not the end of the world. We'll go Protect here. We'll go for the Calm Mind. Primarina is relatively slow, so we should have a decent order in the Trick Room. Oh, they really do not like my Primarina. Okay. Alright. I'm going to get a special defense boost at least, and I'll undo that special attack boost. So that's not the worst thing imaginable. Now, if Cresselia just goes for Primarina, that might be a little bit telling, but... Anyways, Glimmora's coming in. That's fine. What I want to do is... I think I want to go for Terra Water Hyper Voice and try to get Glimmora off the field. So, we're just going to see a Lunar Blessing out of the Cresselia. That's fine. Yeah, okay. So, I think what I'm going to do with Roaring Moon is I'm going to attack into the Cresselia, and I think I'm going to pop the Terra Water and go for the Hyper Voice. And then this way, this will put me back up to +1 into my special attack. Glimmora is relatively fast, so Primarina getting its Terra off before it makes sense. So we'll see how this goes. Now we do drop our poison weakness from the fairy typing. My opponent is going to Terrestrialize, so this is most likely Glimmora. Yeah, so maybe Terra Grass? Yeah, Terra Grass. Okay, so they drop their fairy resistance. That's fine. We're getting our Hyper Voice off as well, which means we're going to get our Throat Spray. So now we don't have to worry about Incineroar having any bonus damage as well. So despite being resisted, that still did a good chunk to Glimmora. And now we are at +1 special attack. So we can try to get rid of that thing. They're going to go for the Mortal Spin, so I'm not too worried about hitting that thing with a physical move, because Munkidori can always switch in. The poisoning is a little bit unfortunate, but we should be alright at the end of the day. They went for the Ice Beam off of the Cresselia. We're going to get some huge damage off. So I should be able to pick off the Cresselia at this range, and depending on what they want to do with the Glimmora, I might be able to pick that thing off too. So let's see right quick. We have 2 more turns of Trick Room. I kind of like the idea of going for an Acrobatics into Glimmora, and I do like the idea of going for the Hyper Voice. We get the spread damage. Cresselia is going to protect. That's fine. We'll get a little bit of damage off into the Glimmora, and we'll potentially get the Acrobatics. They might go for an attack into my Roaring Moon, which would be unfortunate. But, oh yeah, here comes a Meteor Beam. Roaring Moon is really not going to appreciate this, but if Trick Room ends and Roaring Moon is still around, I can always go for a Tailwind. Oh, it's Primarina. Okay. We take that, no problem. All right. So, there goes the Glimmora. Munkidori can come in and just eat up that Toxic Spikes, which would be relatively nice. And we can go for a Tailwind with Roaring Moon next turn. Because I feel like Incineroar comes in and fakes out Primarina. So what I can do is I can go for the Tailwind and then try to just take out the Cresselia next turn. So maybe what I'll do is I'll protect Primarina this turn. I'll go for the Tailwind. Or do I need the Tailwind? I don't think I really need it, because Munkidori can come in here. Now, one slight problem is Rillaboom and Munkidori. I can't go for the Sludge Wave stuff. So maybe what I'll do is... Maybe what I'll do is maybe I'll just switch out the Roaring Moon. Actually, no. I think we're going to go for the Tailwind idea. And if they fake me out, they're going to try to fake me out. So, this way here, at least I get my Tailwind off for the next turn. And then the entire team has speed working in its favor. So they're going to go for the Lunar Blessing with Cresselia. Great. In theory, Primarina is now faster than the Incineroar. So, assuming I don't go down to my poisoning here, yeah, I'm fine. Now, they do have the Protect on the Cresselia, so they might hold on. But we now have our Tailwind. I would like to Acrobatics and Hyper Voice. And then this way too, at least Incineroar doesn't appreciate this. Glimmora is gone. Munkidori can come in. I think Incineroar maybe finishes off Roaring Moon, and then that would put me into a position where now I have Rillaboom and Munkidori on the field at the same time, which means Rillaboom needs to deal with that Incineroar. So, if Cresselia protects, I'm in a bit of a pickle, because then I have to be weary of the Trick Room coming back up and then really being slow. So, Cresselia is going to protect, but if Primarina can get rid of Incineroar, that's going to be huge. So, right now we have speed in our favor. We have Rillaboom, who is in the back. We have a +1 Hyper Voice going into the Incineroar with Terra Water. So, hopefully this should be enough. Oh, yeah. Incineroar goes down, so we're going to see the last Pokemon for my opponent's side. Primarina did more than enough. So, depending on who it is, great. Munkidori can come in here and go for the Sludge Wave. It could go for the Sludge Wave, and then maybe we could even just pick off our own Roaring Moon and just try to get rid of that Cresselia. So, unless this is Landorus, I should be in an okay... And it's Landorus. Okay. Alright. At least Rillaboom should be able to deal with the Landorus. So, we'll go for the Sludge Wave. Roaring Moon is faster than Munkidori, so we should be able to get a little bit of chip off into the Cresselia, and then the Sludge Wave should come out here. So the Sludge Wave's gonna clear out the Roaring Moon, which means Rillaboom can come in safely. We can go for the... Oh, we did not pick up the Cresselia. Of course. All right. So, can Rillaboom pick off Cresselia from that range? Yeah, that's a very good question. I mean, what I could do is I could always go for the Fake Out into the Cresselia, but that is pretty obvious. I mean, going for a Grassy Glide into it's pretty obvious too. So maybe I'll try to go for the... I'll try to go for the Fake Out, and then that way we can at least apply that pressure. They might just go Protect, so I'm just going to go for the Psyshock into the Landorus. The Focus Sash on Munkidori is going to be relative. They went for a double protect, okay. And they went for protect on the Cresselia again, or not again, well, I guess again. But anyways, the fake out was obvious, but at least Munkidori is going to get some good damage off into Landorus. And on top of that, ooh, that was half its health. That's nice. Okay, so Tailwind is gone, but we have grassy terrain. Landorus didn't get its protect, so I think Cresselia is the safer one to attack. And we're going to go for the Grass Knot to benefit from the grassy terrain. We're still not getting rid of that Cresselia, but anyways, Cresselia is finally gone. So Munkidori does pick up that KO. We have the Focus Sash, so if it goes for an Earth Power, great, we're going to live this. So, oh, Munkidori. The way it just flung its arms. Okay. So, we have the Psyshock, we have the Grassy Glide. Munkidori should be fast enough to take this thing out, so. Alright, they're going to go for the Protect, that's fine. They're just trying, at this point, they're just trying to stall out my Grassy terrain, which I definitely get. That's definitely how Rillaboom threatens this thing. But Munkidori Psyshock is definitely going to do some major amounts of damage. So, this should be okay. This is not the combination I normally like to have when I practiced. Yeah, when I practiced with this team, Munkidori and Rillaboom, because of the Assault Vest, it makes Rillaboom really question its life choices being next to Munkidori. But hey, at least we're getting up to some monkey business here. So there goes the Landorus finally. That cleans that up. So Munkidori won a game. Now we need to try and see if Emboar can do something. We're gonna have a good time with the pig. Not a sweeter lie has been told. Bye, Emboar. Anyways, good game to my opponent. All right, my opponent here has Iron Hands, Incineroar, Urshifu, Galarian Slowking, Dragonite, and Rock-type Ogerpon. So, there's definitely two means of Fake Out on my opponent's team, which can be a little bit problematic, but we have Munkidori and Rillaboom for some Fake Out support of our own. The Iron Hands might not be a bad candidate to try to poison with the Sludge Wave. So, I am a little weary of leading Munkidori and potentially into Dragonite, because Dragonite is just really durable. So, let's see. Primarina looks really good into Incineroar and Urshifu. It does not look bad into Dragonite so long as I don't take a direct attack with it. Like maybe if I can sneak something out, that could be really nice. I think maybe Primarina and Tornadus. Maybe Munkidori. And I don't know if I want to do it, but I kind of want to bring Emboar. I mean, a Flare Blitz is definitely going to be really nice at the end of the day. The only problem is oof, I filmed a lot of videos trying to make this work for Emboar, and it has not gone good. It is really not gone good. So, mistakes were made. Some on my end, some on RNG's end, but yeah, okay. So, Ogerpon and Galarian Slowking into Primarina. That is really not good for Primarina. So, Munkidori might need to come in here. Yeah. I might need to bring in Munkidori here because I am Terra Water on my Primarina, which means Ogerpon is in a very good spot to try to knock it out. I'm going to go for a Tailwind here. Oh, Slowking might have Trick Room. I might have made a huge mistake. I might have just made a really bad mistake here. There's the Rock-type Ivy Cudgel, and is it going to be Trick Room? Oh, that could be bad for Primarina. That could be really bad for Primarina. I was expecting maybe a... oh, no. Okay. False alarm. Okay. Well, now that they've put the Fear of God into me and whatnot, Emboar. Let's go. Here is one concern, though. This form of Ogerpon does have... it does have Sturdy. So, yeah. Hyper Voice might be needed, and I really do think I go for a Flare Blitz. Now, I am scared of a Spiky Shield, so maybe what I'll do is I'll Flare Blitz into the Slowking on the off chance that maybe they go follow me instead. So, we'll go Terra Water, we'll get our Hyper Voice off. If they don't go... if they don't go follow me and they go Spiky Shield, not the end of the world, I'll get some damage off into Slowking. But I really... oh, thank you, Emboar. Ogerpon, will you please go after Emboar? Pretty please. Maybe. No, Primarina. But Primarina lived. No Hornleech, which is nice. So, good to know that Ogerpon is still faster than Primarina, but Emboar is faster than Ogerpon. So, there is at least that. Yeah, that's Dragonite. That's a bit concerning. We're gonna Moonblast into you. Or are we gonna Protect? Yeah. That's a very good question, actually. Because in Extreme Speed, we'll probably take out Emboar. You know what? What do we got for Tailwind? 2 turns. So... I kind of want a Moonblast. But at least Hyper Voice gives me a spread option. And... I'm going to Flare Blitz. I honestly think I'm going to be taking an Extreme Speed, especially since I'm seeing the Terrestrialization. So, it is going to be Dragonite. There's the Terra Normal. Maybe I get lucky, though. Maybe they go for the Extreme Speed into Primarina. No Extreme Speed. Ogerpon just goes down to Emboar. Okay. Apparently, maybe I just need to complain about this thing before I start a battle with it. Maybe that's all I have to do. So, here comes my Hyper Voice into the Dragonite. So, we're going to get some big damage. Dragon Dance. Oh, that's mildly concerning. But, I have one more turn of Tailwind. Urshifu is the last Pokemon. It's the Rapid Strike, so they can, in theory, Aqua Jet, Emboar, and Extreme Speed my Primarina. They could potentially just do that. On the off chance that they don't, I'm going to Wild Charge into the Urshifu, and I'm going to Moonblast into that Dragonite. It's Emboar, okay. Primarina. Oh, thank you, Primarina. All right, goodbye, Dragonite. I'm not saying it's awful. I'm still in a very bad position. But Monkey Munkidori is faster than Urshifu. So a Psyshock might not be the worst thing imaginable. Yeah. Now, I think what I need to do is I need to go for a Fake Out into this thing. Hopefully, I break a Focus Sash. I mean, in a perfect world, this thing is just locked into Drain Punch. And yeah, okay, we're gonna go for the Psyshock. This should be some big damage. Depending on the investment on this thing, it's not enough. And there's the Surging Strikes. Yeah, unfortunately, Munkidori's not gonna live that. I don't think Munkidori's living this. No, it doesn't. That said, that was an incredibly close game. I am happy with how that worked out. The big thing that would have turned the tide was if I had picked up the Toxic Chain on the Fake Out, because then Urshifu would have taken a little bit more damage. But Urshifu is a hard one to gauge because sometimes people do run bulk into it. Sometimes they want to just run speed and attack into it. So it's kind of hard to gauge because I ran into one and my Psyshock left considerably more HP. So I was a bit weary on that one. But anyways, good game to my opponent. It's me, Mario! Or at least my opponent is. So, Mario here has Incineroar, Urshifu, Chien-Pao, Raging Bolt, Amoonguss, and Rillaboom. So, maybe I lead Munkidori here. And unless they lead Incineroar and Rillaboom, Munkidori can go for a Fake Out into one of those things. If they lead Chien-Pao, that could be a bit problematic for either Roaring Moon or Tornadus. But Tornadus doesn't look terrible in the back. I think maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Emboar. Yeah, I think I might bring Emboar. Which is kind of scary to lead it with Munkidori and not speed investment. But we'll bring Tornadus. And I think we're going to bring Rillaboom in the back. And what we could potentially do here is we could go for a Fake Out if they lead with a Fake Out setter. Or not Fake Out setter, Fake Out user. But if they don't and they lead Chien-Pao Urshifu, I just try to take out the Urshifu by going for a Fake Out and a Wild Charge into that thing. Emboar can live a Sucker Punch at full HP. It can't live a lot, but it is something that it can do. So it's going to be Raging Bolt and Incineroar. So, maybe what I do here is I go for the Fake Out into the Incineroar. And maybe I try to Head Smash with the Emboar. It's Booster Energy on the Raging Bolt. So that could be a little bit of a problem. But we're going to Fake Out the Incineroar, and I don't know if they necessarily go for a Terra right out of the gate. If they do, great. If they don't, that's a little bit of a problem. Because I do have to potentially get around a Rillaboom and a Urshifu too, so maybe what I do here is I go for a Head Smash and just try to get rid of the Incineroar, or maybe I just try to do as much damage to the Raging Bolt as possible. We'll go for the Incineroar. For all I know, though, they could just go for a Thunderclap. Or that. Okay. Okay, that's not terrible. Emboar's gonna pick up this Head Smash right into Incineroar. That's wonderful. I'm shocked. I genuinely am shocked. But we got rid of Incineroar. That's a huge problem gone, like a big supportive problem. Just no longer that we have to deal with. But that doesn't mean I have the freeway yet to move, because we do have not only an Amoonguss in front of me, but we also have a Raging Bolt. Now, I think they might go for a Thunderclap into Emboar. So, I'm going to protect with Emboar here, and I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave with Munkidori. I don't dislike that at all. All they've done so far is go for Protect. So, if they Thunderclap into the Emboar slot, great. Munkidori is going to get Sludge Wave off. We're going to take that, no problem. If they go for a Spore into Munkidori, that could be really bad. That was a crit into the Amoonguss. So Thunderbolt is going to miss Emboar. Do they go for a Spore? They do get me with a Spore. Not ideal. Really not ideal. But Munkidori is fast. We know this is going to be a guaranteed sleep turn, so we can hit the Sludge Wave. Maybe they go for Munkidori instead this turn. I doubt it. Yeah, there's Emboar just eating that Thunderbolt. But Rillaboom is immune to Rage Powder. Now they're going to heal up. That is a huge problem for me. But what I could do here is I could bring in the Tornadus, go for an Air Slash into the Amoonguss, or I just try to Protect and... Oh, that's Munkidori. I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave. No, I'm actually going to go for the Psyshock and hope I pick up the Amoonguss with this, and I'm going to Protect. No, I don't want the Icy Wind, I want to Protect. Yeah, I'm going to try to get rid of that Amoonguss, and I'm going to Psyshock. Because what I could potentially do is I could go for the Munkidori, and I could go for the Psyshock next turn because I'm asleep. But that's fine. We haven't seen any Calm Minds yet. This thing is running Thunderbolt and Protect. I wouldn't be shocked if there was maybe Draco Meteor or Dragon Pulse and Thunderclap as the other two moves. But it could be Calm Mind as well. If it is Calm Mind, it's a little gross. But I'm going to go for the Psyshock, and I'm going to double in, and I'm going to go for the Air Slash. They haven't given me a reason to think they have the Thunderclap yet. They've only gone for just Thunderbolt. So Munkidori is still asleep, but at least Tornadus got rid of the Amoonguss for me. Here comes the Thunderbolt. That is going to be a KO, but Rillaboom can come in here, and it can fake out the Raging Bolt. Or it can fake out Raging Bolt's partner, because Raging Bolt might just go for a Protect this turn. So Rillaboom's going to come in here first. Who's going to be their switch? It's Chen Pao. Okay. This would be the perfect time for Munkidori to wake up. It would be a huge advantage to wake up right now. I'm going to Grass Knot into the Chen Pao, and I'm going to fake it out. So that's good damage. Can Munkidori finally wake up? Yay! All right. So, we're going to get our Grass Knot off. We get the Toxic Chain. Nice. All right. Now, depending on what Raging Bolt does, it's Thunderbolt into Munkidori. It's a little concerning, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Grassy Glide into the Chen Pao, and I think I'm going to go for the Psyshock into the Raging Bolt. I'm going to keep my Grass typing right now, because in theory, this will be much better for dealing with that. So, Chen Pao went down. Can I get the poison into the Raging Bolt? Maybe. Yes. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So, we've only seen Thunderbolt. I doubt it has anything that it wants to do. It might be Draco Meteor. And if it is Draco Meteor, that might be why they're reluctant to be using it, because they don't want to lower their special attack. So I'm going to go for a Grassy Glide. This thing is booster energy, so that could be really bad for Rillaboom. There's the Draco Meteor. All right. We live. Great. We just need to be able to live another hit. Yeah. So we know they are Draco Meteor, Thunderbolt, Protect. Thunderclap is probably the last move. So we'll go for our Grassy Glide. It's not enough to pick it up. At the -2 in the Assault Vest, we do live, which means the poison from Munkidori is going to finish Raging Bolt. Because this is toxic poison. This is not regular poison, which means it's going to get worse. So, Raging Bolt does go down. So, it worked out finally. We brought Emboar to a game, and we won with Emboar. Emboar was able to get rid of that Incineroar, which I'm very happy with. And, yeah, the Munkidori picking up the poisoning into both Chien-Pao and Raging Bolt was absolutely huge. Munkidori definitely carried that game, and Rillaboom was definitely able to finish off the Raging Bolt. And I'm very lucky they didn't go for a Thunderbolt first and then a Draco Meteor. If they had into Rillaboom, then it might have been a little bit more questionable if I had won. But anyways, good game to my opponent. Hey, thank you guys so much for checking out this Munkidori and Emboar team in action. And yes, Emboar is extremely hard to use, but it is possible to win with it. If you really like this thing and it's your favorite starter, you can definitely win with Emboar. It might take a while, but hey, I hope you guys enjoyed that montage that I threw in there too as well. And if you did like that, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll do that in the future with more future scrapped content, or if you didn't like that, let me know as well. Trying something new there. But anyways, in game one here, we had a very, very strong showing for Primarina, and it kind of makes sense now, knowing what my opponent had in the back, why they were trying to get rid of Primarina, whereas they did have the Landorus Incarnate and the Glimmora, and plus the Incineroar targeting it down with the Parting Shot, as well as the Fake Out right early on in the game. Makes a lot of sense why they went for that instead of Roaring Moon. My opponent ended up getting Trick Room up on the field, and that Cresselia just would not go down until the very end of the battle. But Primarina had an insanely strong showing here. It got the Calm Mind boost off very early on, which undid the special attack drop from the Parting Shot, and then our Throat Spray actually ended up putting us up from neutral to a +1. So it took a lot of effort to essentially get that Calm Mind off, but we did get it. And even with the Terra Grass helping Glimmora resist the Hyper Voice, Glimmora still took a considerable chunk from that. The fact that we did almost about 20% of the Glimmora's HP was pretty respectable from Primarina pre-Throat Spray boost, which was really nice. And then Primarina was able to one-shot the Incineroar when it did come back, which was just phenomenal. We did a considerable amount of damage to the Cresselia with the Roaring Moon having the knockoff slap away its safety goggles. And while Primarina did go down to the poisoning from Glimmora's Mortal Spin, Munkidori was able to come in and finish what it had started. We ended up chunking down the Cresselia. We ended up pulling off a Sludge Wave. We ended up sacking our Roaring Moon as well, but Roaring Moon was going to go down anyway, so it was unfortunate that we didn't quite get the KO into the Cresselia, but we were able to bring it down to the point where eventually, when it was just our final two of Rillaboom and Munkidori, we were able to finally overpower that Cresselia, and then the Landorus just did not appreciate the Psyshock off of Munkidori, nor the Grassy Glide off of Rillaboom. And then in game two, we ended up going against Ogerpon Cornerstone, which you don't see that a whole lot, so it was nice to see the Rock-type Ogerpon, and we also got to see Galarian Slowking, which is another Pokemon I do not see a lot of, and aside from the fact that that Slowking did scare me with the threat of the Trick Room, luckily we did not see that go off. It just tried to get rid of my Primarina with the Sludge Bomb, which allowed Emboar to come in after Tornadus fainted and just knock out the Slowking with a Flare Blitz. And then Emboar also got to pick up the weakened Ogerpon after Cresselia. Still got game one on my mind here. After Primarina weakened the Ogerpon. Now, one thing that was a little bit concerning for my Primarina was we did have Terra Water, so it's not like we were going to be able to resist anything from the Ogerpon. We were very fortunate that the Ivy Cudgel just did not one-shot my Primarina, and we were also very fortunate we did not see a Hornleech. My opponent ended up having Dragonite and Urshifu Rapid Strike in the back, and they did get the Dragon Dance off with the Dragonite, and they definitely realized Emboar was actually starting to become a threat and ended up going for the Extreme Speed to finish off Emboar, leaving Primarina to finish Dragonite off subsequently, there we go, words are hard, with a Moonblast to finish off the Dragonite, which then just ended up in a showdown of Munkidori and Urshifu Rapid Strike in the endgame. Unfortunately, my Fake Out into the Urshifu didn't trigger my Toxic Spikes, and unfortunately my Psyshock was just not enough to finish off the Urshifu, and Urshifu did take out Munkidori with a Surging Strikes. But all things considered, I was pretty happy with how that match ended up playing out. Despite taking the loss, Emboar did a phenomenal amount of work, and so did Munkidori. And then finally, in our third game, we ended up going against Terra Fairy, Raging Bolt, Incineroar, Amoonguss, and Chin Pao. We did end up losing a few turns for Munkidori to Amoonguss by putting it to sleep, but Munkidori did a phenomenal amount of damage to the Terra Fairy Raging Bolt with a Sludge Wave. Emboar picked up a straight-up knockout into the Incineroar with a Head Smash at -1 attack, which was just wonderful. And then we ended up having a endgame where Munkidori did wake up. It poisoned both the Chen Pao and the Raging Bolt, and Rillaboom was able to finish off the weakened Chen Pao with a Grassy Glide, and then it boiled down to just Rillaboom versus Raging Bolt, and Raging Bolt got poisoned from the Psyshock, and fortunately for Rillaboom, it was able to take not one but two Draco Meteors, allowing Rillaboom to finally chip down the last little bit of Raging Bolt's health until the point where the Toxic Poisoning was able to finish it off. Anyways, guys, thank you once again for watching the video. If you made it to this point, be sure to let me know what you think of the team down in the comments below. If you want to see some information about the team as well, I will have a Pokepaste linked in the description as well. Anyways, see you next time.